Let me start off with wishing all of you a happy 4th of July. I hope everyone's barbecues and celebrations all turn out well. Okay, we're back with another Q&A video, and a quick thank you to all of you who've posted questions. All right, let's begin. Did you ever meet Gotti Jr., and was he as dumb as they make him out to be in the media and on the internet? First, I'll address the media and the internet. Both platforms are in the business of making money and getting views. A great deal that's said in the media is not true and greatly embellished. Of course I knew Junior. My impression of him is the complete opposite of dumb, and he's also not a punk. If Gus Faraci had turned himself in, do you think he would have still been marked for death in prison? Had Gus turned himself in, he'd either be doing life in prison or would have received the death penalty. And the mob was not killing Gus in prison. Any thoughts on the John A. Light situation? I'll say this. Anytime anyone gets indicted, it's unfortunate. And I know there's certain people who will find delight in learning that John is jammed up. I say, don't wish bad on people. It has a way of finding you as well. Usually the underboss is second in command. Who is the better underboss for the Lucchese family? Anthony Gaspipe Casso, Patrick Patty Delarosso, or Stephen Stevie Wonder Crea, or Anthony Boat Barada? The only underboss that I was under was Stevie Crea, so I wouldn't be able to do a comparison. However, based off Lucchese history, Gaspipe will forever be known as the worst choice for that position. Did you or any of your former friends play chess? If yes, do you think it helps with strategic thinking in relation to the street? Anthony Guzzo and I would play chess in prison, and I'm sure a lot of guys enjoyed the game. It's one of thinking and strategy, thinking about not only your moves, but your opponent's counters. It definitely keeps the mind sharp, whether it's for the street or in a legitimate sense. Out of the 5 families, which 2 do the least amount of business with each other and don't interact much? During my time, it was the Lucchese and Bonanno families. We were actually told not to do business with them unless it was totally to our benefit. But in present day, this is no longer the case. How do crew territories work in the mob? Let's say a captain is controlling the family's downtown operations, and another captain that operates uptown has a racket or scheme that operates in downtown. Does the first one tax for operating in his area, or anyone can operate anywhere nowadays? Areas can be chopped up or shared. There's no taxing of captains. New York City's fair game. However, there are instances where an issue may come up, like for example, cafes are supposed to be 2 or 3 miles distance from each other, and issues like that are ironed out at a sit-down. When a friend gets transferred to another crew, do his associates stay with him and go along with him to the other crew, or do they stay behind with the previous captain's crew? Associates are with the friend. They're his. So if he happens to be placed in another crew, his associates remain with him. The associates are part of a crew because of the guy they're with. And the only way that they wouldn't be is if he released them. When you go to Philadelphia, what's your favorite cheesesteak sandwich joint? I'm honestly not a frequent visitor of Philly for no other reason than it's a far drive. But Angelo's is hands down the best cheesesteak spot in that entire area. Why do you think Italian law enforcement hasn't had as much success cracking down on the Calabrian mafia versus the Sicilian mafia? Actually, Italian law enforcement has had much success in arresting and 'ndrangheta members in Italy and abroad as well. I think you mentioned that Ernie Grillo was originally with Quack Quack Ruggiero before he moved to Paradiso's crew. What was Ernie's relationship like with Ruggiero's son? Before being placed in Mickey Boy's crew, Ernie was with another Gambino captain. And from what I witnessed, he got along very well with Angelo Jr. You mentioned in the video that Neil Migliore was the richest mobster in the Lucchese family. How did he get there? Was he smarter, more diversified, a little bit of both, or something else? I actually said Neil and Paolo Duca were 2 of the wealthiest guys. Neil supplied Home Depot with the granite quarry that he owned. He was an intelligent businessman who just happened to be a longtime wise guy. During the planning of the Brooklyn faction's takeover, were old-time crew members like Danny Katea involved or consulted? No. By that point, Danny was already in Florida. Why did guys believe Gotti would be a good boss? What leadership qualities did he show as a captain? John Gotti was actually leading a crew before he was even straightened out, and he was a powerful captain prior to him becoming boss. I don't think there was ever a question that he was a leader of men. Joe Massino was always one step ahead of his rivals, two steps ahead of law enforcement. He somehow escaped any damage from the Donnie Brasco fiasco. He only went down after his administration flipped. Have you ever come across any evidence in your research suggesting that Massino may have been a CI long before he flipped? No, I haven't. Massino flipped when he rolled the dice and went to trial and crapped out. I don't believe he was ever a confidential informant for the FBI prior to that. If you haven't liked this video yet, please take the time now and give it a like, as it helps with YouTube's algorithm. Anyone who'd like to show their appreciation for videos like this, or more importantly, help me to continue making them, you can donate with the Super Thanks icon down below, or through the PayPal Cash App links in the video's description. Let me quickly mention my blog, also called Sitdownnews, especially for those of you who still enjoy reading. The site can be found at sitdownnews.com and is a paid subscription. Let me quickly add, YouTube has made it difficult to find the Super Thanks icon, which can now be found by hitting these three dots under the video, which gives you a drop-down menu, and the Super Thanks icon is 4 down. Those donations help me continue posting videos. Thank you. And for the final question, before you became a member, did you ever do something that you got a tongue lashing from a member? If so, do you think you deserved it? Like many young guys, I was always doing stupid things and thought I knew what I was doing. What you describe as a tongue lashing, we called being schooled or groomed. But anytime I received a tongue lashing, it was 100% justified.